For centuries, the mystery of fallen angels has captivated the minds of believers and skeptics alike. Who are these celestial beings that rebelled against God? Why does the Church avoid discussing the full extent of their influence? The truth is more shocking than most people realize. These entities are not just lurking in ancient myths or religious texts. They are active in our world today, shaping events, deceiving nations, and manipulating the lives of countless individuals. Their presence is undeniable, and their agenda is more sinister than we've been led to believe. In this video, we will uncover hidden biblical secrets, explore ancient scriptures, and reveal the disturbing truth about Satan's army. You'll learn how these fallen beings continue to operate in plain sight and what their ultimate plan for humanity really is. Stay with me until the end, because what we are about to reveal may change the way you see the spiritual world forever. Before we begin, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss any future content. And now, let me ask you, do you believe fallen angels still walk among us? Share your thoughts in the comments, and let's dive deep into the truth that has been hidden for generations. The story of fallen angels is one of the most mysterious and controversial topics in the Bible. Many churches avoid discussing it in detail, either because it's too unsettling or because it challenges traditional teachings about the spiritual world. But the truth is right there in the scriptures, hidden in plain sight. The Bible describes a time when certain angels, created by God, chose to rebel against him. They abandoned their heavenly positions, defied divine order, and became enemies of humanity. Their rebellion was not just an act of defiance, it was the beginning of a cosmic war that still rages to this day. But what exactly caused these powerful beings to turn against their Creator? The book of Isaiah gives us a glimpse into the mind of the one who led this rebellion, Lucifer, the most radiant of all the angels. His pride and desire to ascend above God led to his downfall. In Isaiah 14:12-15 we read, "How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven, I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. I will be like the Most High." This passage reveals something crucial. Lucifer was not content with his exalted position as one of the highest-ranking angels. He wanted more. He wanted to overthrow God himself. And he wasn't alone. The Bible tells us that he convinced a third of the angels to follow him in his rebellion. Revelation 12:4 says, "And his tail drew the third part of the stars of heaven and did cast them to the earth." The stars here symbolize angels, and this means that a massive number of them were cast down alongside Lucifer. But what happened to these fallen angels after their expulsion from heaven? Some of them, according to the book of Jude and the 2 Peter, were bound in chains and cast into darkness. Jude 1:6 states, "And the angels which kept not their first estate, but left their own habitation, he hath reserved in everlasting chains under darkness, unto the judgment of the great day." Yet this raises a disturbing question. If some fallen angels were bound, does that mean others are still roaming freely? The answer is yes. The Bible makes it clear that not all fallen angels were imprisoned. Many are still active, operating in the spiritual realm and even influencing human affairs. This is where things take an even darker turn. When we look at Genesis 6, we find one of the most chilling accounts of fallen angel activity. The passage tells us that the sons of God took human wives and produced offspring known as the Nephilim. Genesis 6:4 states, "There were giants in the earth in those days, and also after that, when the sons of God came in unto the daughters of men, and they bare children to them, the same became mighty men which were of old, men of renown." Many scholars and theologians believe that the sons of God mentioned here are fallen angels. This means that these rebellious beings not only abandoned their heavenly dwelling, but they also corrupted humanity by taking human women and producing hybrid offspring. These Nephilim were not ordinary humans. They were giants, warriors, and powerful beings, unlike anything seen before. Their existence was so wicked, so corrupting, that it led to one of the most devastating judgments in history, the Great Flood. Think about that for a moment. God wiped out nearly all of humanity because of what these fallen angels had done. This was not just about human sin. It was about something far more sinister. The entire genetic makeup of humanity was being altered, and God had to put a stop to it. This explains why Noah was described as perfect in his generations. He was not just a righteous man. His bloodline had not been tainted by the corruption of the fallen angels. But here's where things get even more shocking. The flood destroyed the Nephilim, but it did not end the influence of fallen angels on earth. We see evidence of their presence all throughout the Old Testament, where various nations engaged in strange and wicked practices. From child sacrifices to the worship of false gods, these demonic beings continued their deception. Deuteronomy 32:17 confirms this when it says, "They sacrificed unto devils, not to God, to gods whom they knew not, to new gods that came newly up, whom your fathers feared not." This means that the so-called gods worshipped by ancient civilizations were not gods at all. They were fallen angels disguising themselves as deities to lead humanity astray. From the false gods of Babylon to the demonic rituals of Canaan, these entities have always sought to deceive and destroy. But their deception is not limited to the past. The influence of fallen angels is still very much present in our world today. They work through false religions, occult practices, and even modern-day entertainment. The Bible warns us in 2 Corinthians 11:14 that Satan himself is transformed into an angel of light. This means that his greatest weapon is deception. He doesn't come with horns and a pitchfork. He comes as something appealing, something that looks good, something that seems right. And that brings us to a critical question. Are fallen angels still manifesting in physical form today? Some believe that encounters with extraterrestrial beings could actually be modern-day manifestations of fallen angels. Think about it. Countless people around the world report seeing strange, supernatural entities, often associated with advanced knowledge and deception. Could these be the same beings that deceived humanity in the past, now disguising themselves under a new identity? Let me know what you think in the comments. Do you believe that fallen angels are still among us, influencing our world in ways we can't even imagine? Are they working behind the scenes, pulling the strings of world events? Share your thoughts below. And if you're finding this information eye-opening, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. We're just getting started, and in the next part, we'll uncover even more disturbing truths about fallen angels, their connection to end-time prophecy, and what the Bible says about their ultimate fate. Stay with me, because what comes next will shake you to your core. As we continue exploring the shocking truth about fallen angels, we must ask an important question. If these entities are still active today, what exactly are they doing? What is their purpose? The Bible provides us with clear answers, but many churches choose to overlook them. The reality is that these fallen beings have a long-term agenda, one that involves deception, control, and ultimately the destruction of humanity. Let's go back to the origins of their rebellion. When Lucifer and his angels were cast out of heaven, they did not simply disappear. They sought to establish their own dominion, their own kingdom, apart from God. Jesus himself confirms this in Luke 10:18 when he says, "I beheld Satan as lightning fall from heaven." This fall was not just a spiritual event. It marked the beginning of Satan's war against humanity, and he has been fighting this war ever since. One of the most crucial aspects of this battle is deception. Fallen angels are masters of lies, twisting the truth just enough to mislead people. From the very beginning, Satan's strategy has been deception. In Genesis 3, he deceived Eve in the Garden of Eden by subtly distorting God's words. Yea, hath God said, ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden. By questioning God's command, he planted a seed of doubt. And that is exactly what he and his fallen angels continue to do today. Plant seeds of doubt, confusion, and rebellion in the minds of humanity. They use false religions, occult practices, and even seemingly innocent ideologies to achieve their goals. But deception is not their only weapon. These fallen beings also seek to corrupt the world through direct influence over individuals, governments, and systems of power. Throughout history, rulers and empires have been guided by unseen forces. The Bible makes it clear that certain nations and their leaders are influenced by fallen angels. In Daniel 10:13, we read about the Prince of Persia, a powerful spiritual entity that resisted God's messenger for 21 days. This was not a human prince. It was a fallen angel assigned to a specific region, working to oppose God's will. This concept of territorial spirits, or fallen angels ruling over nations, is something few people understand today. But when we look at the state of the world, wars, corruption, and moral decay, it becomes clear that unseen forces are at work behind the scenes. These beings manipulate leaders, influence policies, and push humanity further away from God. And their control doesn't stop at governments. Fallen angels have infiltrated every aspect of human culture. Look at the entertainment industry. Look at the music, the movies, the symbols hidden in plain sight. Have you ever noticed how obsessed the world has become with the occult? Songs, television shows, and even children's cartoons are filled with imagery that glorifies the very things the Bible warns us against. This is not a coincidence. The influence of fallen angels is everywhere, and it's stronger than ever. They know that by normalizing darkness, by making witchcraft, divination, and demonic symbolism seem harmless, they can desensitize people to spiritual reality. They want people to believe that the supernatural is just fiction, that there is nothing to be concerned about. But the Bible tells us otherwise. 1 Timothy 4:1 gives us a chilling warning. Now the Spirit speaketh expressly, that in the latter times some shall depart from the faith, giving heed to seducing spirits and doctrines of devils. What does this mean? It means that in the end times, many will abandon true faith and follow teachings inspired by demons. And when we look at the world today, we see exactly that happening. More and more people are turning away from the truth of the gospel and embracing false ideologies that have their roots in deception. But perhaps the most terrifying aspect of fallen angels is their ability to manifest in physical form. We've already talked about how they took human wives in Genesis 6, but what if they are still manifesting today? Could some of the supernatural encounters people report, UFO sightings, strange beings, shadow figures, actually be fallen angels disguising themselves? Think about the rise of alien abduction stories. Many people who claim to have had encounters with so-called extraterrestrials describe experiences that sound disturbingly similar to demonic possession. They report being paralyzed, receiving false revelations, and being subjected to terrifying visions. What if these encounters are not with aliens from another planet, but with fallen angels continuing their deception in a modern form? 2 Corinthians 11:14 reminds us, "And no marvel, for Satan himself is transformed into an angel of light." This means that these beings can appear as anything: beings of light, spiritual guides, even benevolent extraterrestrials, all to mislead humanity. And what is their ultimate goal? Total deception, to convince the world to reject God and embrace an alternative belief system. We can already see this deception taking shape. The world is being conditioned to accept supernatural beings, but not in the biblical sense. Instead, people are being led to believe that these beings are advanced, enlightened entities who want to help humanity evolve. And when the world fully embraces this lie, it will be ready for the final deception, the arrival of the Antichrist. The Bible tells us that before the return of Christ, a great deception will take place. 2 Thessalonians 2:9-10 warns us, "Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish." This means that the Antichrist will come with supernatural power, performing signs and wonders that will deceive the masses. But where will this power come from? From the same fallen angels that have been working behind the scenes for centuries. They are preparing the world for this moment, conditioning humanity to accept a false savior, a counterfeit Messiah who will lead them further away from God. This is why understanding the truth about fallen angels is so important. The church has neglected this topic for too long, leaving many believers unaware of the battle happening around them. But we must wake up. We must recognize the signs. The spiritual war is real, and it's intensifying. Are we seeing the final stages of the fallen angels' deception? Are we living in the days when their influence is reaching its peak? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Have you ever noticed the signs of their presence in the world around you? Have you had any personal experiences that made you question reality? And if you haven't yet, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. We're diving deeper into the truth, and what comes next will expose even greater secrets about the role of fallen angels in the last days. Stay tuned, because what you're about to learn will change the way you see the world forever. We've uncovered the hidden truth about fallen angels, their rebellion, and their influence throughout history. But now, we must go even deeper, because their deception is far from over. In fact, it is reaching its peak. If fallen angels have been working behind the scenes for thousands of years, what is their ultimate goal? What is their end game? The answer lies in one of the most chilling warnings given by Jesus himself. In Matthew 24:37, he says, "But as the days of Noah were, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be." Why did Jesus specifically mention the days of Noah? What was so unique about that time? We already explored how fallen angels corrupted humanity before the flood by taking human wives and producing the Nephilim. But what if that corruption wasn't just physical? What if it was also spiritual, intellectual, and even technological? Ancient texts from cultures around the world tell eerily similar stories of powerful beings who descended from the sky and gave humanity forbidden knowledge. In the book of Enoch, which, although not part of the biblical canon, provides historical insight into the beliefs of ancient Jewish communities, we read that fallen angels, known as the Watchers, taught mankind all kinds of secret knowledge: how to create weapons, practice witchcraft, manipulate nature, and even alter human biology. This knowledge was never meant for us. It was a violation of divine law, and that's why God had to wipe out nearly all of humanity in the flood. But here's the terrifying part. Jesus warned that history will repeat itself. If the fallen angels were corrupting humanity back then, could they be doing the same thing today? Think about the rapid advancements in technology, artificial intelligence, genetic engineering, and even human augmentation. Scientists are now editing DNA, merging man with machine, and even seeking to create new life forms. What if this is not just human innovation? What if these ideas are being whispered into the minds of scientists and world leaders by the same fallen beings who once taught forbidden knowledge before the flood? Revelation 12:12 warns us, "Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time." Satan and his fallen angels know their time is running out. They are accelerating their plans, pushing humanity further and further toward total rebellion against God. And perhaps the most disturbing sign of all is the rise of transhumanism, The idea that humans should evolve beyond their natural state, becoming something more than human. This is exactly what happened before the flood. The Nephilim were not normal humans. They were hybrids, part angel, part human. And now, scientists are playing with the idea of merging human DNA with artificial intelligence, robotics, and even animal genes. The world is on the verge of creating something that is no longer fully human. Could this be part of the fallen angels' plan? Could they be guiding humanity to repeat the same sins that led to destruction in Noah's time? And let's not forget about the strange signs in the skies. People around the world are reporting increased UFO sightings, strange lights, and encounters with mysterious beings. Governments have even started admitting that they don't know what these things are. But what if they do know? What if world leaders are aware that these are not extraterrestrials, but fallen angels continuing their deception? Revelation 16:14 speaks of spirits of devils working miracles, which go forth unto the kings of the earth. This suggests that fallen angels will directly influence world leaders in the end times. Could we be seeing the beginning of this right now? These beings have one goal: to prepare the world for the coming of the Antichrist. And this is where things get even more disturbing. The Bible tells us that in the last days, a man will rise to power, performing signs and wonders, deceiving the masses. But his power will not come from himself. It will come from Satan and his fallen angels. 2 Thessalonians 2:9-10 warns us, even him, whose coming is after the working of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish. The Antichrist will not just be a political leader. He will be a false Messiah, a counterfeit savior performing supernatural acts to convince the world to follow him. And those who are not spiritually prepared will fall for the deception. We can already see how the world is being conditioned for this. Society is being primed to accept supernatural beings, to embrace new forms of spirituality that exclude God, and to put their faith in human progress rather than divine truth. And here's where the final deception comes in. What if one day fallen angels openly reveal themselves, not as demons, but as benevolent beings, claiming to have guided humanity for centuries? What if they present themselves as the true creators of mankind, offering advanced knowledge and even promising eternal life through technology? Would people believe them? Revelation 13:14 says that the Antichrist will deceive the world through miracles, leading people to worship him. Could these miracles be performed with the help of fallen angels, posing as superior beings? This is the final phase of their plan. First, they led humanity away from God. Then, they corrupted our understanding of the supernatural. Now, they are preparing to take center stage, convincing the world to embrace them as saviors rather than enemies. Are we witnessing the final stages of their deception? Are fallen angels preparing the world for the greatest lie in history? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Do you believe that we are seeing signs of their influence today? Have you ever experienced something that made you question what's really going on in the spiritual realm? And if you're finding this information revealing, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. We still have much more to uncover, and what's coming next will expose even greater secrets about the role of fallen angels in the last days. Stay tuned, because the truth is far more shocking than you've ever imagined. If everything we've uncovered so far is true, then we must ask a terrifying question. How much time do we have left before the final deception takes place? The Bible tells us that fallen angels are working behind the scenes, influencing governments, religions, and even the minds of ordinary people. But what is their ultimate plan? We know that their leader, Satan, has always wanted to be worshipped. From the beginning, his rebellion was about exalting himself above God. In Isaiah 14:13-14, he declared, "I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. I will be like the Most High." This was his desire from the start, to replace God, to take his place. But how does he plan to accomplish that? The answer lies in the one event that will change everything, the rise of the Antichrist. The Bible warns us that in the last days a powerful world leader will emerge, one who will unite nations, perform miracles, and deceive the masses. But this leader will not be acting alone. Revelation 13:2 tells us that the dragon gave him his power and his seat and great authority. The dragon, of course, represents Satan. But Satan does not work alone. His fallen angels, the same entities that have been manipulating history for centuries, will be the ones pulling the strings behind the Antichrist's rise to power. But here's something many people overlook. The Antichrist's reign will not be just political, it will be supernatural. Revelation 13:13 says, "And he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men." This means that the Antichrist will perform real supernatural signs. But where will this power come from? Could it be that fallen angels, disguising themselves as benevolent beings, will assist him? What if they appear to the world claiming to be advanced extraterrestrial beings or higher spiritual guides, offering their wisdom to humanity? Imagine this scenario. A global crisis shakes the world, whether it's war, economic collapse, or even a staged extraterrestrial event. Then these beings arrive, offering solutions, performing miracles, and endorsing a single world leader. The world, desperate for peace and answers, accepts them without question. But behind the scenes, it is all part of the fallen angel's final deception. This would explain why so many people today are being conditioned to believe in alien life. Governments are releasing classified UFO reports, scientists are searching for life on other planets, and Hollywood is preparing us to accept the idea that humanity is not alone. But what if all of this is leading to a moment when fallen angels openly reveal themselves, not as demons, but as saviors? This deception would be so strong that even believers could be at risk. Jesus warned us in Matthew 24:24, "For there shall arise false Christs and false prophets, and shall show great signs and wonders, insomuch that, if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect." The signs and wonders these fallen beings will perform will be so convincing that even the strongest believers will struggle to discern the truth. And this leads us to another terrifying possibility. What if the fallen angels are not just influencing humanity from the shadows, but are actively preparing vessels for their return? Could this explain the growing obsession with artificial intelligence, genetic modification, and even transhumanism? Scientists are already working on merging human DNA with technology, creating artificial life, and even seeking to upload human consciousness into machines. What if these are not just human ideas, but knowledge being whispered into the minds of scientists by fallen angels, just as they did in the days of Noah? Daniel 2:43 contains a cryptic prophecy about the last days, saying, "And whereas thou sawest iron mixed with miry clay, they shall mingle themselves with the seed of men, but they shall not cleave one to another, even as iron is not mixed with clay." Who are they that will mix with human seed? Could this be a warning that fallen angels will once again attempt to alter human DNA, just as they did before the flood? Could the modern push for human enhancement and artificial intelligence be part of a much bigger plan, one designed to corrupt humanity beyond recognition? And here's where things get even more disturbing. The Bible tells us that in the last days, a powerful image will be given life, an entity that will have the ability to think and speak. Revelation 13:15 says, "And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak, and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed." What is this image of the beast? Could it be an advanced form of artificial intelligence, something so powerful that it demands worship? If fallen angels have been guiding human technology all this time, could their goal be to create a vessel for their leader, Satan, to fully manifest in the physical world? Think about how fast technology is advancing. We now have AI systems that can mimic human thought, machines that can replicate human speech and behavior, and even robotic bodies being developed to house artificial consciousness. What if this technology is being prepared for something far greater? A final merging of the supernatural with the artificial, allowing fallen angels to fully manifest in our reality. We are seeing all the signs around us. The world is being primed for something beyond human understanding. The deception is growing stronger, and yet so many people are asleep, unaware of what is happening right before their eyes. Are we seeing the final preparations for the greatest deception in human history? Are fallen angels setting the stage for their ultimate return? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Do you believe that the push for artificial intelligence and human enhancement is part of a larger spiritual agenda? Have you noticed how society is being conditioned to accept supernatural beings? And if you haven't already, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. The truth is being revealed, and in the next part, we will expose the final prophecy that will seal the fate of fallen angels and reveal their ultimate punishment. Stay with me, because what comes next will shock you even more. We've uncovered the hidden truth about fallen angels, their rebellion, their deception, and their ongoing influence over humanity. But now we must answer the most important question of all. What is their ultimate fate? Will these entities continue to deceive and corrupt forever? Or has God already declared their final judgment? The Bible is clear. The fallen angels may have power now, but their time is running out. Their reign of deception will not last forever. God has already pronounced their sentence, and a day is coming when they will be utterly destroyed. Revelation 20:10 gives us a glimpse of their final destiny. And the devil that deceived them was cast into the lake of fire and brimstone, where the beast and the false prophet are, and shall be tormented day and night, forever and ever. This is the end of Satan and his army of fallen angels. The same beings that once roamed freely, masquerading as gods and deceiving nations, will be cast into eternal fire, never to rise again. But before that final moment comes, they will attempt one last desperate move. The Bible tells us that after the rise of the Antichrist and the Great Tribulation, Satan and his fallen angels will lead a final rebellion against God. Revelation 19:19 describes this battle. And I saw the beast and the kings of the earth and their armies gathered together to make war against him that sat on the horse and against his army. This will be the last stand of the fallen angels. They will deceive the world into thinking they can defeat God himself. They will gather the armies of the earth, convincing humanity to fight against the return of Jesus Christ. But their efforts will be futile. Revelation 19:20 tells us what happens next. And the beast was taken, and with him the false prophet that wrought miracles before him, with which he deceived them that had received the mark of the beast, and them that worshipped his image. These both were cast alive into a lake of fire, burning with brimstone. There will be no escape for them, no second chances. No rebellion will ever rise again. And as for the rest of the fallen angels, their fate is sealed as well. Matthew 25:41 says, Then shall he say also unto them on the left hand, Depart from me, ye cursed, into everlasting fire, prepared for the devil and his angels. Did you catch that? The lake of fire was not created for humans, it was created for Satan and his fallen angels. This has always been their destiny. This is where their rebellion will end. But here's the most terrifying part. They don't want to go alone. They know their fate, and their only goal now is to take as many people with them as possible. This is why they deceive. This is why they manipulate. This is why they have worked tirelessly for thousands of years to lead humanity into rebellion so that people will share in their punishment. But you don't have to be part of their plan. You don't have to be deceived. The Bible tells us that Jesus Christ came to destroy the works of the devil. 1 John 3:8. He has already won the victory. He has already provided the way to escape the enemy's deception. The question is, will you choose truth or deception? This is not just a story. This is not just history. The battle between good and evil is happening right now, all around us. The fallen angels are still working. They are still influencing. They are still deceiving, but their time is almost up. The signs are everywhere. The world is changing. The deception is increasing. The final moments of history are unfolding before our eyes. The question now is, are you ready? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Do you believe that we are seeing the final moves of the fallen angels? Have you experienced spiritual warfare in your own life? And if this video has opened your eyes to the truth, make sure to like it, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss future content. The truth is out there, and it's up to you to seek it. Thank you for watching, and remember, stay vigilant, stay aware, and above all, stay close to the truth.